I stand at the crossroads of time, my heart ablaze with the fire of conviction, my soul tethered to the eternal truths that have guided humanity through its darkest hours. There was an age when courage was not merely a word but a beacon, a radiant virtue which you etched into the stories of heroes who faced impossible odds, who stood unyielding before empires, beasts, and the shadows of fear itself. I see their faces in my mind's eye, warriors who stormed the fields of battle not for glory, but for the sacred duty to protect what is just, men and women who, armed only with faith, faced the jaws of lions and the scorn of tyrants, souls who dared to dream of a world where every heart could rise to its divine potential. And I ask myself, what has become of that bravery? Where is the spark that once kindled the human spirit to stand, to speak, to create, to endure? I look upon the world today, and I see a creeping shadow, a temptation to retreat, to surrender, to shrink from the call of destiny. There are those who whisper of flight, of hiding in the wilderness, of yielding the sacred gifts of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness to those who would chain us to their altars of greed and control. They are the architects of despair, faceless powers that thrive on our silence, our division, our fear. But I say to you and to myself that we were not born to cower. We were not crafted from the dust of stars to kneel before the machinations of men who peddle falsehoods and trade in shadows. No, we were made to rise, to wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the unseen forces that seek to dim the light within us, the principalities that whisper defeat, that sow doubt, that defame the sacred worth of every soul. I have walked through the valleys of doubt, felt the weight of a world that sometimes seems to conspire against hope. Yet in the quiet of my heart I hear a truth that echoes across ages. We are not powerless. Within each of us lies a mind capable of piercing the veils of deception, a soul that can touch the eternal, and a will that can forge new paths where none seem possible. Bravery is not the absence of fear, nor is it the reckless charge into chaos. It is the quiet resolve to stand when others falter, to speak when silence is easier, to create when destruction looms large. It is the choice to see the divine in every human face, to believe that each of us has a purpose, a place, a contribution to the great tapestry of existence. I have learned that true courage is not found in the clash of swords or the defiance of empires alone. It is in the daily acts of defiance against despair, the refusal to let the world's noise drown out the still small voice within. It is in the inventor who toils through failure after failure, knowing that one spark of innovation can light 1,000 lives. It is in the teacher who speaks truth to a generation taught to doubt. It is in the parent who shields their child from the world's cynicism, nurturing a heart that dares to dream. It is in the quiet prayer of one who, against all odds, believes that the arc of existence bends toward justice, toward love, toward unity. I refuse to surrender to those who would have us believe that our fate is sealed, that our freedoms are theirs to take, that our potential is theirs to define. They are but men, and men can be surpassed not by force, but by the relentless power of the human spirit. I see a world where we can build, not destroy, where we can unite, not divide, where we can lift each other up, not tear each other down. The enemies we face are not only those who wield power in boardrooms or battlefields, but the subtler foes within fear, apathy, the lie that we are too small to matter. Yet I know this: every soul is a universe, every life a thread in the divine weave, every act of courage a ripple that can shake the foundations of eternity. I call upon you as I call upon myself to awaken, to remember that we are not mere pawns in a cosmic game, but bearers of a light that no darkness can extinguish. Speak out not with anger, but with conviction. Create not with pride, but with purpose. Stand not for yourself alone, but for the countless others who will draw strength from your example. We are not here to retreat into the shadows, to hoard our gifts in isolation, to let the world be shaped by those who care only for power. We are here to claim our birthright, to live fully, to love fiercely, to contribute boldly to the collective greatness of humanity. I believe in a truth that transcends time, that every human being is endowed with a spark of the divine, a potential to surpass the creations of man with the creations of the soul. We are not bound by the chains others forge for us, nor are we limited by the fears they would impose. We are called to wrestle with the unseen, to challenge the forces that would diminish us, to build a world where every voice is heard, every life valued, every dream given wings. This is the bravery I seek, not the bravery of the fist, but of the heart, not of the conqueror, but of the creator, not of the one who destroys, but of the one who dares to build anew. So I stand, I speak, I create. I refuse to let the virtues that have carried humanity through its trials be forgotten. I will not give up on the promise that we are all made in the image of something greater, something that calls us to rise, to endure, to overcome. Let us be brave, not for ourselves alone, but for the generations yet to come, for the world that waits to be shaped by hands that tremble yet refuse to let go. Let us be the light that pierces the darkness, the voice that silences despair, the courage that rekindles hope. For in this moment, in this life, in this eternal now, we are called to be more than we ever thought possible, to be human fully and fearlessly, forever.